So, and yes, so much great. This is happening.
You want the American dream. You want the life, the liberty, the happiness. But until you get there, until you achieve your goals and make your dreams come true, you know what you have. You have the journey, the hustle, the climb. I'm Kelsey Humphreys, and this is The Pursuit, where I interview the best of the best in person on their home turf about how they got started, how they got to where they are today, and what you can learn from them about success. Prepare to be inspired, equipped, motivated, encouraged, and have a lot of fun.
5, 4. Kelsey, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Pursuit. I'm in my new digs in my home office, which is awesome because I can create a lot more video content for you guys. This episode also marks the beginning of a new format for The Pursuit. So you'll see my video clips and articles and written work on a lot more websites, which is really exciting. However, it means that I'll only be doing one feature episode per month, one giveaway per month. So I want to make sure that you guys subscribe at thepursuit.tv or at kelseyhumphreys.com so that you do not miss it, because these upcoming interviews that I have, you guys, oh my goodness. Let's dive in and talk about my interview with the one and only Chalene Johnson. I was super intimidated as I drove up to her Laguna Beach home, which is easily the nicest home I've ever been in. When we were setting up, actually, one of the light canopy things for our lighting grazed the chandelier that she has in her home office, and I saw my mortgage flash before my eyes. Luckily, it barely grazed it and it was fine, but it was a very scary moment for me for about 2 seconds. Then we sat down and we got settled, and I have to be honest that I had done some research about Chalene, and I knew that she had a lot to offer, but once I got to sit down with her in person and really talk to her and really ask her these questions, I drank the Kool-Aid, y'all. I am 100% a Chalene fan, more so than probably any of my interview in terms of before and after being like a major changing moment for me. I think a lot of people out there have a misconception about her, and that's why I'm so passionate about making sure a lot of people see this interview, because they need to be watching her Periscopes, they need to be getting her emails and reading her blog posts if you want to grow as an entrepreneur and still enjoy your life, stay married to your spouse, keep investing in your kids. You will love her as much as I did. Here's my interview with Chalene Johnson. Motivational speaker, New York Times bestselling author, and fitness celebrity Chalene Johnson is the #1 female in direct marketing. The first female to host 2 #1 infomercials, Chalene has sold over 10 million DVDs. The former CEO of Powder Blue Productions, she has built and sold several multi-million-dollar fitness and lifestyle companies. Chalene is the CEO of business and lifestyle coaching company Team Johnson, where she has taught her personal and business development systems to hundreds of thousands of people. Chalene is also the founder of personal and business development programs and million-dollar internet academies, including Smart Success Academy, Marketing Impact Academy, and Courageous Confidence Club, where she shares what she has learned to help other business owners create even greater success and more balanced lives. Chalene, thank you so much for letting us come today.
I'm tired after reading my bio. I need to take a nap.
It's impressive. I'm kind of tired after reading it. I have been following you. When I started this whole process a few months ago with The Pursuit, many people recommended you. So I was like, all right, I'll go check her out. And then, of course, I became obsessed, like everyone who finds you. But what's interesting is then when I dug a little deeper, I think when people find you, they think that you were a fitness TV personality that just made a big brand. And they don't realize, like, whoa, it goes way deeper than that. So what I'd love for you to do is start at the beginning of back when you were a paralegal, and how you went from, working as a paralegal, trying to get some fitness class gigs, all the way to, let's start to go to like Turbo Jam.
For me, my entrepreneurial journey started when I was a teenager. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. I didn't know that, but we didn't have money growing up. Anything we wanted, my parents, in particular my dad, would say, well, let's come up with a plan. Let's figure out what you can do. Let's figure out what you can sell. So very young, I realized that I was going to have to buy my own car and pay for my own clothes and those kinds of things. So I started a business flipping automobiles, buying used vehicles from like the state auction, really, really cheap. And they would be like in decent shape from an engine standpoint, mechanically, but they would be just, because they were state owned, they would be like really dirty and painted orange. Because in the state of Michigan, they painted their vehicles orange. So I would buy these vehicles and I would have them painted for $99. That was my first taste of business, and I later went on to Michigan State University and was still flipping cars to make money and working as a paralegal. But the flipping cars became really inconvenient and kind of scary, like having people come to my house, strange men, or me going to people's scary neighborhoods with cash in my purse. And I thought there's got to be a better way to do this. So I started a business where people brought their vehicles to one location and sold them privately to and from private owners and sellers. And that was kind of my first entrepreneurial, like, hey, if I have a problem, I bet other people have this problem. And if I solve this problem, it feels good, and I could also make money. And so that was my first experience with it. Then working as a paralegal, I was teaching fitness classes, and I thought, why does anybody do this? You don't get paid anything. I mean, it's really fun, but it ends up costing you money because you'd have to download so much music and spend hours creating routines. And I thought, why don't I remember my mom teaching jazzercise when I was a kid. And I remember that she would learn the routine. They would send her the routine and the music. And I thought, God, I wish there was something like that now, but that was, for what I was doing, which was kickboxing. And so I thought, I should just create that, and because I bet that would solve a problem for a lot of other people. And so that was just an attempt to, again, solve my own problem. It wasn't my intention to go into fitness or for that to be what it ended up being.
So now you're doing these fitness classes, and then you started auditioning, or did someone approach you?
No, then I started this business, and it was called Powder Blue Productions, and what we were doing was creating kind of a paint, but we would give you your class.
For other instructors.
Exactly. So we started just word of mouth, like telling other instructors, like, hey, here's the choreography, here's the music, here's a video of how you teach the choreography. Then you can also customize it, make it your own. And, for $60, here you go. And people started, really talking about it, and there was a groundswell, and it created this kind of tribe around it where it was very much, Turbo was kind of a mix between like cheerleading sound effects and hip hop music, but like cool kickboxing, and it built this like tribe around it. And then we started creating an fitness apparel to go with these workouts. And before long, we had like 60,000 instructors around the globe teaching this format. And when you've got 60,000 instructors, that means you have millions of people taking the class that don't even know who I am. They only know their instructor. And so what that resulted in was people sending me letters, like just massive amounts of letters saying, I want to show you what my students have done. And they would send me pictures of their before and afters, and they're saying, like, they've been doing this workout with me for 3 years and they've lost 100 pounds, and I just want to share with you what my students have done. I collected those and I put them in a folder, and people knew about this folder because I was so excited. It wasn't my students, but I was excited to show them what other people had done. And it was about the time that Thai Bo and Windsor Pilates were really popular. And so word kind of spread within the infomercial industry because they were looking for another, like, they knew, like, okay, fitness is working on TV. So they were looking for somebody who had a program. And I think rumor spread that I had this notebook. And that's how I started getting phone calls.
Wow. What you just said is already huge, because a lot of people could have an idea to solve a problem or an idea to create something other instructors need. But still, the odds are in the first 1 to 2 years you're going to fail. For all of these great things. I mean, even with your car business.
Sure.
So let's go back and talk about, what do you think were the keys that got you through those first couple years to the real momentum?
Yeah, perseverance, because no one makes money initially. No one's an overnight success. I mean, it's pretty rare. It's easier today. No question about it. It's so much easier to be a successful business today because of the internet, because of opportunities like this to reach millions of people. I didn't have these opportunities, you know. I had to get on TV to have millions of people see my program. Other than that, it was all word of mouth. It was, having to spread the word in person. So it required incredible perseverance and just not giving up, but most importantly, connecting with people who had been there and listening to their advice and really not being stubborn about it when someone would say that isn't going to work. You know, I'll hear sometimes people give the advice like, never let anyone tell you your dream's not going to work. Or, you know, never let anyone rain on your parade, or, you know, don't believe the naysayers. And I say, I disagree with that advice. I say you have to listen to them because they might have some good feedback and they want you to go in a slightly different direction. And so I would really listen to what people would say, and especially experts, and read and be a student of personal development and business development, and just be patient.
Let's go back to Turbo Jam, because you weren't, you weren't just like a fitness, you know, I guess I wouldn't call it like talking head sort of thing, but you owned part of it, or how did that relationship work?
What happened was I had this book. I own Powder Blue Productions. We created a multitude of fitness programs that we call pre-designed. Meaning the music was there, the choreography. So we had this book of before and afters. And so I would give that tip to people who are starting any kind of business, no matter what it is. If you've helped someone and they've said that to you, ask if you can save their email. Ask if they wouldn't mind putting that on video, and just say, you know, it really means the world to me. Is there, if you've got time, if you could just hold up your iPhone and just say what you just said, because we believe other people, you know what I mean? And so those testimonials, and I know some people think, well, I don't know how my business is the right kind of business to collect testimonials, but they all are. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer or a fitness instructor, but I had these testimonials. And when you watch a fitness infomercial, that's what sells an infomercial, is testimonials. And I had this big book of before and afters, and people started calling us. It got down to offers between Guthrie Ranker and Beachbody. At the time, Beachbody was brand new. They had, I think, one other show on the air, which was Slim and Six. They hadn't done P90X or P90. And we had a bigger offer on the table from Guthrie Ranker. But I did the same thing that I always do, which is I like these people. I liked John and Carl. I liked that they didn't want me to change anything. I liked that they got excited about the stuff that I'm like, nobody got excited about that. Like sound effects. Like no one got. Like funny. I'm like, sound effects, like when I do a jumping jack and there's a pew, like that's huge. And they were like, we love your sound effects. I'm like, I'm doing business with you.
Yeah.
And so we signed with Beachbody. Our first program was called Turbo Jam. It was the #1 infomercial that year, and it was insane. We had been successful in our own company, selling apparel, doing certifications. We had become millionaires, and there was a period in our business where we were also $500,000 in debt.
Ooh.
So I've been on both sides of that. But when we got that first infomercial, the very first time I went to the mailbox to get a check, I literally got sick, because I was like, I felt a lot of guilt.
You felt guilt?
I felt guilt. And because of that, I suffered from chronic sleep deprivation. I literally would work or sleep maybe 3 hours a night.
Oh my.
Because we were still running our own company, and we were still doing the apparel line, and we were still holding certifications in every state. And then on top of that, I was trying to answer and respond to all of the consumers and do these consumer videos and instructor videos. And I delegated nothing, and I took nothing off my plate. And I thought, if I'm going to make this kind of living, I need to be tortured. I really believed that.
Wow.
In order to feel like I deserved it, I felt like I needed to almost like punish myself and never rest.
How did you get past that?
Just the realization from my husband, really, that it went past the point of punishing myself into a place of like addiction. You know, where I couldn't, as much as I wanted to stop, I couldn't stop. I couldn't rest. Because if I were to rest, I didn't feel valuable. I didn't feel worthy. When he finally did come out and say to me, like, I don't like this, and I don't feel like it's ever going to stop, I was in shock. Like, he didn't get mad. He didn't, like, say, this has to end. It was just like him saying that. I was like, oh, how long have you felt this way? And we just weren't really connecting there. And so we had to realize that we really had to communicate, and that was what was most important, was us and nothing else.
Yeah.
So we started over. Brett and I started over. Like, once we had that very serious conversation and decided that we couldn't go on like that, but how do we get out of this?
Right.
that took a 5-year process of creating a plan and then executing it over the course of 5 years to turn our businesses into something where I wasn't the face of it. And that was because you can't sell yourself.
Right.
So we had to take our business and remove me from it and lift other people up who were better and were great on camera and that people connected with, and we had to put them front and center, and I had to outsource, but it took a plan. Like we had to go, okay, if today we're doing everything and I'm the face of everything, I'm in every video and I'm a control freak and I won't let go of anything, how do I go from this to a place where we could sell it to somebody? I always tell people our rock bottom was at the very top.
Interesting. Which kind of brings me to a viewer question we had from Shonda, and she asked how, what your advice would be and how you transitioned from fitness to business and leadership, and you kind of transitioned your whole personal brand. So what's your advice for people who want to do that as well?
Yeah, I think part of that is a misconception.
Okay.
Because I ended up in fitness by accident. Fitness is kind of how people know me. But my fitness business was successful because of my entrepreneur skills, because my leadership skills, because our company, Powder Blue Production, was built on leadership principles. We had 60 area promotion directors, and those are people who were reps of our programs in each of their individual states. So we had to build a team. We had to learn leadership. We had to learn how to lift people up and teach personal development to the people who are on our team and find really great people. And, the fitness part of it was almost accidental. Like, it could have been anything, you know what I mean? The most successful entrepreneurs, as I'm sure you spoke to many, they have these things in common. And one of them, for most of them, the ones who are really balanced, they have it together, pretty balanced in all areas. Fitness is part of who they are, as is faith, as is relationships, as is rituals and things that they do every single day, and you find that successful people have all those things in common. And so I think the fitness was just one of those things that happened to give me notoriety, but business and teaching and sharing and solving problems has been coursing through my veins and will until the day I die. So I think the transition happened because I needed to remove myself a little bit from my fitness business. And in order to do that, I wanted to focus on helping other people build their businesses.
You're exactly right. All of these people that I get to sit down with have all of those things. Let's go through yours. What are your daily rituals? What's an average day like for you, or an average week? Because I know days can be different. But
it's very different now. It used to be filled morning, noon, and night with just put out fires, like whatever was on fire I handled. And fires are never done, right? So I would never sleep, and I would never feel a sense of accomplishment or calm. And now the way my day is structured is I typically just work between 11 and 3. And because that's when I'm focused, and that's when I can do my best work. It's when I feel creative. My morning starts very early. I exercise first. I pray. I'm learning to meditate. I've been meditating after my workouts. I'm not great at it, but I'm learning. And then I create a daily to-do list that is small.
Okay.
It starts off big, and then I edit it down, and I say, I know I want to do these 20 things, but what 3, if I get them done, will everything be okay? And then I just do the 3. And then that way, I've given myself permission to relax when my day is done. I'm like, well, I really only need to get these 3 things done.
It's interesting because so many people that I sit down with, like you, for example, back when you created all this stuff, that wasn't your day, right?
I think that if I could give advice based on the things that people will say, like, well, but if you listen to most successful people, they killed themselves in the beginning, right? And I know that was true for me too. However, I've since had the opportunity to work with thousands of entrepreneurs. And I can tell you that the ones who get there faster and don't destroy relationships in the process do one very scary thing that gets them there faster, and that is to outsource and to get help and to not try to do it themselves. And the longer you try to do it yourself, thinking that you're saving yourself money, or that like, oh, I can't afford to have somebody else do this because we're broke. It's a scary leap of faith that pays someone to do something when you're broke, but it frees you. And like this is true. Like I don't know if this is true for the guys, but this is so true for women.
Yeah.
And that is laundry.
Really?
Laundry was a game changer.
Well,
for me.
I will take that. I will tell my husband.
Aren't there days where you're like, I can't get to my work because the laundry is up to my eyeballs.
Yeah.
I can't do
and just the house in general. Like
Yes.
you can't be creative when it's like a madhouse.
I called it destination procrastination. Like, no matter what we had to do, no matter what the deadline was pending, I was like, well, then I'll have to do it at 2 a.m. because I can't start it until the house is organized and the socks have a match. And that never would happen.
Well, that might be like a different level of crazy with the socks.
Oh,
But,
it's
but
for
everything
sure.
else, I'm right there with you. Okay, we have a couple more reader questions I want to get to. Oh, yes, you have. So now you have both of your podcasts and you're speaking. You're a New York Times bestseller. You wrote your book. So you have all this content and all this stuff that you're doing. And Bobby wanted to know how you choose, what you publish and how you manage all of that content because it's a vast, you cover a lot.
Yeah. With help. Number one, and like when you were reading my bio, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot. She needs to calm down, that Chalene Johnson. But I have to remind myself and people, that was all of those things were done at different times. Like my book I wrote in 2010. It came out in 2011. So I'm not busy writing a book now.
Yeah.
It's still, it adds to the resume, but I'm not doing it now.
Right.
I do things in seasons.
Okay.
So I think good advice for people is not to try to do everything. Do a season of something. Do it well enough that you know if you want to continue doing it or if you can outsource it, and then move on to the next season. But when you have a season, you have to give another crop an opportunity to rest. And farmers know this, that when you are growing a crop, there's always a field that's resting. And you can't have all those crops growing at once. If you do, you get a below average produce, right?
Right.
And so for me, I did a season of podcasting, and I also like to do things where I can create one piece of content and go into a lot of different places.
Right.
So like I love Periscope right now because I've been recording my Periscopes and like sending that off to the editor. I'm like, make this a podcast.
Yeah, perfect.
And then that content then goes to YouTube and it goes to Facebook and then it gets transcribed and turned into a blog, and all of those blogs could be turned into a book if I should have another season for writing a book.
Yeah.
But do things in seasons. And I would say my one wish for people who are parents is that there is no more important season than the season when your children are young. You have the rest of your life to win awards and be known and be famous and to get a bajillion likes and to crush it in business.
Yeah.
Take care of your family first. Make them your season, because that season goes by so fast and you won't have a chance to do that again.
Yeah.
Make that your most important season.
I'm having some mommy guilt on this trip because my daughter is 2.
Aww.
But that's why I pack a lot of interviews into a short trip. So lastly, if someone were struggling or if they were at the very beginning of their fitness or, online brand, personal brand, and they got to sit and have coffee with you, what is the number one piece of advice that you would give them in their pursuit?
My number one piece of advice to anyone, especially if you have no budget to build your business, is to share and to give away your best answers. Whatever it is you've figured out, whatever it is you've gone through, which you might think, well, I had to learn this from someone else. Why would I share this when I learned it from so-and-so? Share it in your own way. And in that process, build your email list. There's nothing more powerful, more rewarding, more freeing than having people who you connect with and you own that platform. I don't own Periscope.
Right.
Facebook can shut me down. Somebody can hack me on Instagram. You can all go away, And so when you have an email list of people who get you and they connect with you and you serve them, it's like having dear, close, loyal friends who will always be in your corner.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I mean, so much. My mind is spinning. You gave away such great knowledge. So thank you so much. And we will be right back with a quick game after this.
Ooh, fun.
So many lessons to be learned. But here are my keys to success from my interview with Chalene Johnson. Number 1, you need to solve a problem. How is your product or service removing hassle, saving time, saving money? A lot of entrepreneurs want to just do what they're passionate about or create what they love or even just do what they're good at. But a lot of times that's not enough if you're not solving a problem. Number 2, no matter your industry, your testimonials are solid gold. If you think about it, almost her entire success comes down to a binder full of before and afters. So take her advice. Number 3, you have to get honest with yourself. Course corrections happen. Course corrections are okay. If it's time for you to completely change directions in your entrepreneurial life or your entire life, do it. You'll be glad you did. Number 4, you don't just build a personal brand. I love her answer to this because it just proves what I keep learning with all of these masterminds, that they put in the work for years before they built a personal brand. And you and I have to do the same thing. Invest the time and energy into your craft, your industry, your expertise, and then building a personal brand will be much easier. And number 5, you cannot, in fact, do it all. I love her advice about seasons, and I think it's something a lot of entrepreneurs, especially solo entrepreneurs, don't do very well. Not only do you need to focus on one crop at a time, you've got to learn to outsource. Now, I was skeptical about this because outsourcing almost seems like the trendy thing to talk about, and everyone wants to learn how to do it. But once I started doing it, I realized why everyone should be doing it. It really does free up your mind. Look up her Periscope broadcast or some of her other videos where she talks about how she takes one Periscope broadcast and makes, I think it's 17 pieces of content. Hello, mind blown.
We are going to play a quick game of Heads Up, but before we do, I want to tell you about Chalene's amazing giveaway. You guys are going to freak out. Tell them what you're giving away.
I'm giving away a scholarship to my Smart Success Academy. It is an online academy, but we'll also give people we'll give you 2, so you can bring your partner.
Oh, perfect.
2 tickets to our live event. Smart Success is my online academy that teaches people how to outsource, how to restructure, make sure that your life is structured in a way that's going to truly honor your priorities. It's really a way to blast your business without destroying your relationships.
Awesome.
And everything else in the process. And we created it because we did it the wrong. We did what I call stressed success. That's what most people are in, is in stressed success. And I want to teach people. I feel like it's my obligation. Because I taught people stressed success for too long. I taught people like, do more, do more. And now I want people to do less and have more, live more.
Okay, so go to thepursuit.tv/Chalene Johnson to make sure to enter and get entered for that giveaway because, I mean, holy cow. And now we are going to play a quick game of Heads Up. We're going to play the charades version. Is it going?
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Yes, I'm ready.
Turn towards the camera a little
Okay.
Oh. Skiing. Roller coaster.
Yes.
Okay.
Pass. Oh.
Yoga. Jumping jacks?
No, I'm in.
I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna guess. I have no idea. Pass.
Snow angel.
Oh. Making coffee, cooking, baking. Putting something in the oven, but oven timer, closing the oven. What in the world?
Barbecue!
Oh.
That was a barbecue. This is a snow angel.
That was amazing. That's
That
what that was.
Snow angel. Everyone knew that was a snow
Okay.
angel. Oh, okay, cool. Oh God, I'm so bad at this. Flossing your teeth.
Yes.
Blowing your nose.
Yes. Mine are easy.
Reading a book. Reading a giant book. Closing books, folding books, making paper, doing laundry. A map. Reading a map. Fast. Oh. Cheering. Being happy. Winning. Cheering. Dancing. Cheering. I just keep saying the same word. If I say it louder, it'll be right. Cheering for an audience. Applause. Getting people. You're a cheerleader.
Yes, close enough.
Playing a violin. You're a sad person. Feeding a baby. Nursing a baby. pulling up something into a bag, a bag of laundry, a bag of money.
Taking out the trash.
Mine
were way easier than
yours.
yours.
I know, that was...
Well, I feel like I won that game, but that's because my clues were so much easier. So tell everyone where they can find you, all the different places.
Right here at my house. Just kidding. I'd love for people to listen to my podcast. I think, especially for people who are fans of your show, they're obviously in a stage where they're building their business. I give away all my answers every single day on Build Your Tribe.
Yes. Okay.
And the Chalene show is kind of life coaching. We talk about all kinds of stuff. But Build Your Tribe is really for entrepreneurs who are, they want the answers. I share my answers every day.
All right. So go to iTunes.
iTunes or Stitcher if you're an Android user.
Okay.
If you're an Android user, you go to Stitcher, and then you go to the Apple Store and you buy an iPhone. Just kidding.
I'm with her. And then be sure and follow her on Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and ChaleneJohnson.com. This giveaway could not be bigger. I actually bought the giveaway myself to see. I was like, well, it sounds like an awesome program, and I know we're going to be giving it away, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. And right now, the room that I'm standing in was because we overhauled our entire house after I realized what my priorities were and some of the things that were standing in the way. And so we reorganized 3 rooms, basically renovated our house in the course of a few weeks. And that's just like one major life change, and it's awesome. And that's just one major life change that has come out from this. So I want to encourage you to enter for the giveaway. All the details are at thepursuit.tv/Chalene. In addition to that, there's bonus clips because I wanted to keep the episode shorter. So some specific questions about being a mom and some of her strategies, those are clipped out. So you've got to go watch it all at thepursuit.tv/Chalene. And I will be back next month. And until then, you can find me on Periscope. You can watch my quick pep talks on Facebook. And you can sign up for my weekly email. And that's at KelseyHumphreys.com as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Kelsey Humphreys, and this has been The Pursuit. Facebook and ChaleneJohnson.com. So, yes, so much great. This is happening.